Hello, my name is Dylan Dubasar. This is my first speech. This is my cousin Jack. It's my grandma Mama Joe, or Joanne. My mom Carla, my dad Brad, my other cousin Eric. Growing up in Omaha, Nebraska, winters meant snow days and bundling up in layers just to go outside. But as much fun as snowball fights and sledding were, I always found myself dreaming about a place other than the freezing cold. A place where warm breezes and the waves crash on the shore. For a kid in the Midwest, the idea of seeing the ocean felt like something out of a movie. Luckily for me, one winter, that dream came true. I got to escape the cold and experience the beautiful Florida sunshine for the first time. That trip wasn't just a break from the snow, it was an adventure I will cherish forever. In the winter of 2009, my family and I took our first family trip to Florida to visit my grandmother. It was my first time seeing the ocean, first time stepping on the beach, and first time going deep sea fishing. Each moment was unforgettable. Today I want to take you on that journey through my first ever family vacation to Florida and share these moments that made it so special. My trip to Florida was filled with amazing experiences, spending time at my grandma's community center, going to the beach, and finally going on a deep sea fishing trip with my dad. The first 2 days were spent enjoyed at my grandma's community center and all the fun activities it had to offer. For my grandma, Florida was a paradise, and her gated community was packed with things to do. It felt like an entirely new world compared to Omaha. The first thing we did when we arrived was hit the pool. Coming from the freezing temperatures, stepping into the warm, sunny weather, and swimming outdoors in December was not real for an Omaha kid. Also, the community had a beautiful pond, and we quickly learned it wasn't just for show. It also had alligators in it. Seeing one for the first time just floating there was both thrilling and a little terrifying. The days were also spent playing games including tennis, bocce ball, shuffleboard, which all became instant favorites every time we visited. It was simple but fun, but being in the warm Florida air with family made it unforgettable. As great as the experience my grandma's community was, I was eagerly waiting for the main event, going to the beach. My first time seeing the ocean and stepping onto a beach was breathtaking. For a kid from Nebraska, the ocean felt like something that only existed in books, movies, or pictures. But suddenly there it was, right in front of me, stretching as far as I could see. The first thing I noticed was how soft and smooth the sand was. It wasn't like dirt and grass I'm used to back here in Omaha. It shifted beneath my feet, almost felt like I was walking on a cloud. Then, for my first time ever, I remember the shock of my first dive into the waves. The water was salty and powerful, completely different from my first dive into a pool here in Omaha. The waves lifted me up and tossed me around, making it feel like nature's own roller coaster. My family spent the day building sandcastles and tossing frisbees, and I even taught myself how to skimboard. It was simple fun, but every moment felt like something straight out of a dream. Seeing the beach and feeling the ocean for the first time was an experience I'll never forget. But there was still one more adventure waiting for me, the most thrilling part of the trip, going deep sea fishing. The final day of our trip, my dad and I went deep sea fishing, an adventure that I will never forget. My dad and I had always loved fishing back home in his home state, South Dakota, on the river, but this was a whole different experience. Instead of standing on the shore, a small dock, we were heading straight out into the ocean. As we cruised away from the shore, I was mesmerized by the endless blue stretching out into every direction. The boat rocked with waves, and I could feel the vastness of the ocean around us. The boat rocked with waves. Then at one point, I just stood there, staring at the horizon. No land, no buildings, just the water and the sky. It was both peaceful and overwhelming at the same time. Then, while we were deep sea fishing, the biggest surprise of the trip came when I felt a big toll on my fishing line. I reeled and reeled, and when I finally saw what I caught, I couldn't believe my eyes. A baby hammerhead shark. Seeing it up close was like watching it out of a movie. But when I was watching it move in the water, we realized it was a hammerhead shark. Seeing it up close, watching it move in the water before we carefully released it back to the ocean was a moment I'll never forget. That memory of fishing with my dad remains one of my favorite memories ever. It wasn't just about catching a fish, it was about sharing our adventure together. Looking back, my first family vacation to Florida was one of the best experiences of my life. From spending time at my grandma's house to feeling the ocean for the first time and going deep sea fishing with my dad. As much as I love my winters in Omaha, nothing could compare to that feeling of stepping onto the Florida beach for the first time. I can still close my eyes and picture every moment. It's a memory that will always make me smile, the first family vacations I've brought for many trips. Thankfully, it became a tradition, and we started to go every year, and me and my sister both got to bring friends. Though my grandma no longer lives there, the memory of those trips will always stay with me. No matter where I go in life, I'll always cherish that first incredible adventure in the Florida sun. Thank you.